some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm back and I'm mad!
Welcome everybody. See, this is Jerry, this is me. This is a very unofficial hobby hangout. Welcome everybody in chat. Fulcrum, Danley, Crispin, Demon Sub, Lena, I say hi, Soap Dodger, Panzer Kaputt, Garrison, and Dutch.
Yeah, well that's me, so no point sending her to me.
Well, I'm polite.
I'm already here. Facts. What about Portugal, huh? Jammy bastards. Felt bad for Hungary.
Thank you for everybody being here, not leaning towards the telly, watching the soccer, football, whatever. That weird
Well, they're just
sport.
waiting. We've only got them for half an hour until France-Germany kicks off, and then they'll all be going. I'll have it on the other screen, so don't worry. If anything happens, I'll tell you.
I guessed as much. So we've got a long-ish list today, because Jerry was very generous at that.
Yeah. Some of them are very, 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 very short. A few of them are brand spanking new. They've barely got anything in them. Hardly worth our while opening them, type of thing. But I'll do it anyway.
Still shiny in shrink wrap.
Oh, yeah. Also, I went through quite a lot of people's private projects. Fuck, there's a lot of them there. There's some very interesting ones.
Sadly,
You'll be impressed by them when they finally open up.
I hope they will.
I'm not talking about Pete, who seems to have updated like 17 private ones. Not even talking about him, just general. Tightly scripted, tight as Nat's chaff.
So the first one, Project Warcry 2021 by Horus 500.
Yarp.
Snakes! Why did it have to be snakes? One famous ancient doctor quoted on a plane.
That's true. Dr. Jackson did say that. Way back, we seen him doing some gangs for Underworld in January. He has done another couple of posts since then. I've ignored it mostly because I was too busy with other stuff, and he's very far away in Australia and can't shout at me. So, yeah, I think we've got like 4 posts to pick up on. Subsequently, of a variety of chaos-like things. I quite like them because they're. I don't want to say they're the GW paint scheme, although clearly the first one was very close to it. But some of the other ones are very different from the standard sort of box art, but very easily identifiable. I do like them. I particularly like the guy carrying the flamberge, simply because his whole party is flaming and he's got a flaming sword. It fucking amuses me.
Yeah, this is also the. I think we've mentioned this more than once. This is the correct way of painting flames.
Yep, unless you've got alternative reverse flames.
Oh, outside pictures, always a very nice thing to see.
Yeah, I know a fella in England, the Kings of War Forum, who posts quite a lot. It's Jonathan Fawkes, who takes all of his photos on a barbecue outside, simply because it's better light out there. You know, if you don't have a lighting setup, if you don't have a light box and multiple blah blah blah, getting a good picture is fucking difficult. Whereas outside is always good, assuming it's not pissing down. So, as long as you don't set fire to your grill while you're out there, you're flying.
Well, or maybe heat it on just to have a nice barbecue later. Then
There are many "don't burn your stuff" jokes. many. But yes.
So don't treat your miniatures like the weird people did with their Warhammer
Dark Elf.
armies back in the day.
That's the one.
I would like to interview that guy if he's still mad at that, or if he...
Probably. Who knows? It's probably one of these people who break into somebody's car at a tournament and steals.
the worst.
Yeah, steals somebody's case. I imagine it wasn't even his. And that way, posting it got a lot of traction because people were going, look at this fucker here burning his army, and then the guy whose army it was is bound to have seen it at some point. Anyway.
Oh, that would
Looks
be
like rendered
horrible.
textured flagstone bases. They are exactly that. They're handy to have. I have a set of the 20mm squares because better than round. What can I say?
Square is better than round.
Always better than round. But yeah, you've got these nice, bright poppy Chaos Warbands.
I was going to say they don't have the usual grime and gritty look, but they look like, yeah, devoted chaos warriors.
Yeah. Yeah, they work well. I particularly like the that faction we're looking at now, simply because they've got that snake/gladiator theme. Very good for some sort of Conan-esque game.
For some weird
Just
snake-like
get-
cult.
Yeah, just get standard that looks like this. Yeah,
Best
get
part
Pulse
of-
of Doom.
Best part of the movie is when he's all in his white robes, going like the little flower boy.
Oh yes, that is amazing.
Let me show you the way of love.
More of that, please. More of that.
Yeah, this was a short look up into Horror's project.
Yeah.
Next up then would be
Next up,
a metals Zoipenhead Sassanitz revived.
it's not a big issue, Crispin, but it does happen occasionally because loads of cars parked outside a building where nobody's going in and out for large parts of the day, and people have a tendency, scumbags, to walk past and see what they can steal. And if there happens to be a figure case in the back, most of the time they grab it thinking it's going to be a power tool. And then they get home and discover it's full of fucking metal and plastic toy soldiers, and it just goes straight in the bin. Very rarely are these things ever stolen by people to actually use or sell on themselves. They're generally stolen just by regular thieves who just get very annoyed. Probably come back and gas your tires.
Imagine stealing something you think is valuable and only to discover something you really don't want and have no way of getting rid of to make money at the same time.
And the funniest thing would be, in most cases, the contents of a figure case are probably worth more than your average power tool if they knew where to sell them. But hey ho, yeah, just really one update in here. We'd seen it previously when he was scouting for new varnish, but now he's been working on some Persian levies, and I have to say the sparrow barrows from Aventine in front of them really detract. Well, not detract. Really, what's the word I'm looking for?
Ed?
They obfuscate the fact that they're the War Games Atlantic. No, not the War Games Atlantic. Are they War Games Atlantic?
War Games Factory?
War Games Factory, that's it. The old ones that went to Warlord Games, which are a bit, but they're okay. They're good. Not as good as Atlantic or Victrix. Although obviously scale-wise, they're more appropriate to other ranges than Victrix. But just the addition of the Sparrow Barra up front really sets them off. And then just doing such a big fucking levy force.
For some weird reason, all these white heads give me a very whack-a-mole vibe. Just hit them.
That is how you treat Persians, it has to be said.
Use
Every
the largest
time
hammer you can
sticks their
find and
heads
just
up, you just whack them down.
knock them on their heads.
So they learned that lesson several times when they attempted to enter mainland Greece.
Never paint a targeting reticle on your head. That's bad.
And also, when your army consists of nothing heavier than light infantry, do not attack heavy formed infantry. That more than anything else is really what we take from that.
We are superior in numbers. Crunch.
I've never looked at the sword point rule set because I've more than enough rule sets to be going on with. But I've also managed to squirrel away a chunky amount of Persians now, so I might do something with them. Haven't decided. Hola, Doug.
Doug, hello.
Sprayed matte clear too close and it got shiny.
Next project then. Oh god, dust. Horatio.
Yeah, for part 2, Tim's right. The black out the cockpit, spray it on the inside, and then it means you keep your nice outside all shiny and lacquered. Weirdly, I've had the problem of spraying matte and it's gone glossy. And sometimes it stayed stubbornly glossy even after multiple coats of matte again from a distance. But yeah, there's no... As far as it going slightly glossy, assuming that's not a new tin, because sometimes the formula mix-up is slightly different. and you just have to suffer that tin will be super shiny in comparison to your others. Not all tins are created equal, unfortunately. But give it a dunk in warm water, shake it up for 5 minutes, dunk it back in warm water for 5, give it another shake up, and then try it at the correct distance and see if that improves it any.
Yeah. So next up is from Horatio, and this one looks like Weird Witches.
Could be Weird Witches. Could be.
At least judging by the hairstyle.
Better than that. Somebody has dumped his old D&D collection on him from way back in the mist of time. So there's only 5 or 6 posts here where it shows you what he has been gifted, stripped back and ready to go. So you have Ralpartha, multiple Grenadier, and one at the front he's not entirely certain about, which is the dwarf with the wavy ears, leaning on a sword, which doesn't look like a Grenadier model to me. I'm just going to say, doesn't. Because Cobblestone did most of the dwarves, as far as I remember, and none of them had that look. Because they all had a very distinctly army base to them, with the exception of some of the heroes.
I think he's saying the dwarf is Ralpartha.
Oh, it's the rear. Oh, in that case, it must be the lady. So I was right, not Grenadier. Lady at the back with the big hat / head / horns.
Yes.
/ bloke.
I think it's a lady.
Look at the Norks on her. Could go either way. Who knows? Anyway, answers on a postcard, please. You may win a prize. There is no prize.
The prize is we are showing your postcard on the show.
Warm, fuzzy feeling for helping out a fellow collector. But yeah, so dipping into these and starting to paint them up, and you can see just how nice they go from metal.
And again, how much substance is even in the old metal castings.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, the dwarf reminds me of something, but I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's just the generic pose, but...
It's partly the generic pose. It could be his wibbly ears, which put me in mind of something. I can't help but think they should be horns.
Possible.
And not out like handlebars.
Or maybe they're like snail's eyes.
Sure, could be that as well. No, I just can't get the idea of just grasping a dwarf firmly by its horn
and then
grab it by its
throw
handlebars. Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
Baby Yoda. Yeah, I could see the reference.
That's true. A good paint job hides a multitude of sins, as my CDT teacher taught me many moons ago.
No, now we don't want to get nostalgic, won't we?
Oh, there's nothing nostalgic about him. So yeah, nice. Interesting to see how the others turn out.
I'm hoping he will continue.
If they're all going to be a eclectic paint job, you know, everyone's an individual. If you're going to fight, clash, or are they going to have a unifying sort of palette between them? Either works. Time will tell. But I like it. I like old things. Old things are great.
Like old cars
things
you can repair yourselves and don't have to shell out 1.5k. Why?
I think somebody's got a bill from the garage recently.
Yes. I may have or have not. Next project, Rain in Hell. This is for once a thing I know of because just before OTT mentioned it, I saw the video from the man himself releasing the rule set of...
Which one? Oh.
From Uncle Adam. And after that, I watched the other video his friend made, his collaborator. Though, I like the one that Adam made better.
I haven't seen either of them. Haven't seen either of them, but, and this will surprise nobody at all, that Douglas the Fugless has gone, ooh, a game. I'll be in on that.
And it's miniature agnostic.
Yeah. Not that, yeah, but at no point did he go, I will draft in stuff I've already got. Not when I can dig out a fuckload of stuff and just start hammering out a array of knots. Whereas the rest of us are still trying to get the book, download the book, read the book. There's already a fucking warband assembled and being painted. It's outrageous. Outrageous. Anyway, yes.
But
that.
Can you see that? There's a mold line at the center of the head.
I have to say, it's not a mold line, it's a seam line, and that's the least of that Minotaur's issues, because that's one of the GW exhibit Minotaurs. I heard you like muscles, so we put muscles on your muscles so you can muscle while you muscle. It's like a bag of watermelons strapped to every fucking available flat surface. There's no musculature at all. Whoever numbnut sculpted those doesn't know what a muscle is or what its function in the body is. It's just, let's just keep putting bulges on until we run out of room.
So he's basically like these Russian cheap bodybuilders that keep injecting oil into their muscles.
Oh, they're great in comparison. Oh, that's good. There's somebody actually being lifted by the cops. Superb.
Today on CSI Miniature, who stole the cat?
But ignoring the bubbly muscled Minotaurs.
This looks like a friendly chap having a lot of fun.
I like the idea of using the GW Chaos Warrior / Marauder type people as demons, because let's face it, none of them look like they've got any humanity left. You know, they're right out of left field, shall we say. They look more demonic than man.
Yeah,
so it's the ideal sort of start for a bunch of terrible peoples.
And if I remember correctly, at least in 40k lore, it wasn't unusual for a demon to spawn within a Chaos Warrior.
Yeah. Gotta have vessels. It's much easier to claw your way out of some willing host. Just saying.
Yeah, he's, again, light years ahead of us all. But we remain pleased by the fact that we know one day he also will be dead.
That is true. It's the only thing that keeps me going. It's also one of the reasons why I keep finding new things to put on the show, because maybe I can delay him by starting other things.
Have you seen this grand spanking new system? You want to make a new warband?
Very much so. Very much so. Do like the Ralcan Zenith. That's quite good.
I'm a bit irritated on this chap here. Is that a weird conversion, or is that something you buy?
It's a conversion. There are no whips on that sprue.
The sprue is the whip.
Why not?
The whip is
Makes
heated
sense.
and bent into a bent piece of sprue.
Good. Sounds like somebody's been watching my hard work.
And actually listening to it.
That's right, Doug. We were mostly insulting you. We had hoped you were around to hear it. So it's good.
Now, don't act like you are surprised on that. If anybody comes here, they know they are getting the...
Oh, shut up, you cunt!
Haven't seen that in a while.
Is your succubus your devoted? I haven't bothered looking through the actual list part of the army lists.
The reading part. Wasn't there an actual army list? Have I just skipped that? Probably. Nope.
There was an army list.
Garek Gorbeard is the devout.
Yeah,
So I'm guessing that's the bearded one in the middle.
sure. Succubus devout. I win.
Well, then he's contradicting himself. Or
It's
he has
not.
changed his mind.
Or there could be multiple warbands.
Oh God, he's one of those, is he? Having
Hey, you know, you've got to.
multiples.
It's easier to make somebody else play. If you can go, you're playing this game, here's your warband.
Very much possible.
See, 2 teams. Go me. Go team me.
Pete, why are you insulting us? He says
Why
we're
not?
such lovely guys. Next
can't be arsed.
project is interesting. Dunkeldorf.
Yeah.
Dunkeldorf Diary by Commodore Rob. What is
There
this
are
weird person
2 of
doing
these.
on a chair?
It's because tiny. Like a halfling type tiny. Therefore requires a chair, so you may thunder punch people in the groin.
The pose strikes me as one of the referees from Blood Bowl.
Could be a referee. Could be. If you like. Nobody's saying you can't be.
Big eyes don't cry. Look, a light shot. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Dunkeldorf is currently running a Kickstarter again, or
Yeah,
it's
which
just
is probably why
finished one?
both of these have appeared. No, it's still on, as far as I know. Yeah, it is still on, because I do know. I'm very clever. But this was something Rob had started, I want to say, post-move. It was like one of the first things he kicked into when he was moving house, or after he moved house last year. And we looked at it then, and it was like tumbleweeds in the
Yeah.
interim. So presumably after starting this, then was like, oh, I've actually got to decorate my house. So we've got some particularly nice minis.
Herman and Herman.
Herman and Leopold. I like Herman. He's a crafty looking creepy fuck, to be brutally honest.
The Borgermeister.
He's coming very close. There is a paymaster for the Dogs of War army. And even though the rest of the army is very German, Swiss, Italian feel to it, the paymaster, his guy who hands out all the money from the chest, is a little fat fella called Shake Your Dosh. So he's this little Arab in the middle of this, Italian Wars themed force, and it just looks weird. So I'm going, you know what? I'll just pop him on in place of that, and then just have the whole army looking like they've come out of the Italian Wars. So
You're referring to the old GW Dogs of War
Yep.
unit. Yeah, I remember those with the very massive person on top of the chest.
Yep. Fat Arab. But yeah, so tons of personality, and you know what they say, personality goes a long way.
Even
I do
on
quite-
such short persons.
Quite like the base on that as well.
The wooden texture and the Jerry shot focus Lloyd shot, though
Yep.
it could
There's
be
nothing wrong with
possible
that.
that he
There's nothing wrong
wanted
with
to
that.
show the basing, not the
He's showing
picture.
off the basing,
Yes,
so people can see
probably.
that.
Very high.
You know, you've seen the front, and you know what the back's going to look like. You get the rough outline there. But the basing is key. Very nice.
Yeah. Next project then.
Well,
Linus.
since I've spotted one, and then I spotted this one.
Lena says hi with her Dunkeldorf.
Yeah. So, on the subject of it's on Kickstarter, these are the miniatures that are on the Kickstarter, all painted up in a Kickstarter way,
How can they be here when they're just on Kickstarter?
because she cheats by knowing the people in the Dane law.
Ha!
And then they go, if we send you these, will you paint them up? Then she goes, yes. And then she paints them up, and then they all go all over the interwebs for the Kickstarter. It's one of those things. I like the broken down buildings. It's something we'll see more of later, because I'm a whore for setups, for photographing your miniatures, rather than just, having them in the
Putting
background.
in a light box.
Yeah. Yeah, some people put light boxes with scenes inside them. But,
So, Lena, can you explain how is it Can you live with yourself having things, nice things, before everybody else?
Pretty sure she can.
Yeah, because she's a terrible person like that.
Yep. I've seen her kick a child the other day.
Let's hope it was not her own.
No, she just walked down the street, kicked it, walked back into the house. Shocking, really. Shocking. But, yeah, lovely set of miniatures. I did the unboxing for these. And I had to go through... Well, I didn't have to. I did, though. I went through the website to see what else was about. Well, that one's Lenny, by the way, not Lemmy.
Yeah, but he's painted wrong.
So you say. And I hadn't realised just how much they'd done. So there's... If you don't include the Kickstarter that they're running at the moment, they've already got, I think, 50 character models. And then, like, another dozen or so animals, including vicious attack chickens and various cats and dogs, and just to lounge around or sleep or
hold your
go
horse.
at you.
Attack chickens?
Yeah, well, to be fair, it's only one attack chicken, but I'll fucking have you.
So
And it is literally screaming and flapping its wings and going for somebody, which is just great because there's a Gangs of War scenario that requires, or Gangs of Room scenario that requires a vicious attack chicken to fuck people up. So I will have to get it at some point.
I'm going out on a limb here, and I'm saying the designer played way too much Zelda back in the day on the SNES and attacked all the chickens.
Maybe. Might be that. Or maybe just had a really bad experience as a child on a farm. Regardless, it is a thing.
When the chicken pecked his pecker.
Yeah. So it's just that. And things like... The weird miniatures are great. Obviously not for an RPG, because that's terrible. But... But they also have a fucking massive selection of incidental pieces. So, scenery, scatter, and I don't just mean scatter like boxes and crates, like street signs, a butcher's rack covered in various types of pork-based products, bottles and all sorts of things. This
is the same miniature we just saw with the red coat.
Yes, but painted by somebody else. The first one was
She's
Rob's,
mad.
and the second one is far away.
She's mad.
I think we give her a golden button for that. So
Aww.
don't give her. Yeah, she's already been rewarded for it. We
Terrible.
don't give her any more.
Oh, let's not be. What's the opposite of greedy?
Frugal.
Is it?
Could be. Why not? What's it to you? Huh?
I would have to look it up. Sounds like something fruity styled, or like a juice.
Could be that. Could be that.
Beach, yeah. To the beach and beyond. And why is there so much space on the shelf? Those need to be crammed more.
Presumably she wants to be able to get stuff off the shelves.
At times.
Yeah. Unlike me and my cupboard of no return, where it requires me to clear a space in a room and lift everything out, stack it neatly on the floor, and then bring it back in again.
Back and in again. Sounds like a sequel to The Hobbit.
Well, when I wanted to get Sedition Wars out in the run-up to Stargrave to see what I actually owned, it took me the guts of an hour to unpack and repack that cupboard.
That's a very efficient way of storing stuff, I can take it.
I think so, yeah. It's like fucking 3D Tetris. There's not a space in that bastard thing.
So do you need to hum the melody while you're doing it?
Sometimes.
Next up then is Stalingrad Bolt Action by the intelligent Mr. Ribbit.
Correctamundo. Mihal. 1/16th part Apache or something. There is a warning on pin vice drill bits at the very start. I've no idea what that warning is, because it just has a picture of a broken pin vise drill bit. So I don't know, is it don't drill into something? Is it don't suddenly smash it to one side when you drill? We will never find out. All we can do is look at that picture and try and imagine what the warning might have been.
Is this
Warning, do not strike with a hatchet.
Is it within the project?
Yeah, you've already passed it.
I didn't see any warning signs.
Because it says it's the title of the post.
Oh.
A warning sign on vice drill bits.
Oh yeah,
Oh, he's updated it since. Oh, you can't see my screen. My screen is a warning on pin vice drill bits and one picture of. See that bottom picture with the broken one on it, the black. That is it. That is the entire post, as far as I'm concerned. None of the writing on the second photo isn't in there. Whenever I did it, so he's gone back and edited it.
Yeah,
I refuse to. I refuse. Yeah, I'm not refreshing that. I'm quite content with that one picture, and I'm also going to continue to imagine what the warning could be.
Yeah, he's making
pin
actually
vice
a
drum.
point that I've on somebody else's YouTube channel I had heard of, that if you buy cheap Chinese drill bit sets, you potentially get a set that has a flat end where the pointy end should be.
Yeah,
and those don't work.
I think I complained about it to Lloyd on an XLBS, actually. Or, well, I didn't complain about it because I knew it was happening. I bought a drill bit, but I bought it specifically because it's a handheld one. It was like cheap as chips, and the chuck opens to 3.1 millimeters, so it allows me to put in very large bits or engraving bits, things like that, which I didn't have access to without using something huge. And so if I just want to use a manual, I'll use this. But it came with like 48 bits, and I looked at them and I went, all of these are going to be hot garbage, and they were all hot garbage. But at no point did I buy it for the bits. I was willing to pay the £4 or whatever it was for this, and the fact that they sent me garbage bits with it is just a bonus, because it means I've got things to throw out the window when I'm bored.
Or you can use it for basing and terrain.
To just like have a giant drill bit on the base.
Yeah, make some weird Mechanicus.
Yeah, that kind of works. Anyway, we digress. So,
as is tradition.
As is, as you say, tradition, discuss. Apart from that, he goes into a bit on magnetizing and making battle damage for buildings. That must have been like a 50 cal. Look at the size of those. They're fucking enormous. And also putting together and painting up Pavlov's house. The delightful Mr. Pavlov. Drill bits made of Durasteel. That would be amazing.
As long as they are not made of unobtainium.
Well, none of us are that lucky. None of us are that lucky.
That's a nice piece of terrain.
Yeah, it's things from the basement make it. So
foreground.
Foreground produce it in the UK. Things designed it and sell it in America, based on that. And if you're playing a game in Stalingrad, Pavlov's house could easily be your board. You don't need to do any more than that. Anybody who's played some of those first-person shooter games on the video game machines, there was one in particular. It may have been the single-player mode of the original Battlefield 1942. Now I think about it, if not, it's potentially one of the very first Call of Duties, maybe. But it had Pavlov's house as a level in it, where you spent your time running up and down stairs, forward, backwards, stopping, because there was one platoon in there, and by the end of it there was substantially less than one platoon, with a couple of anti-tank rifles, and they held off multiple waves of Germans over the course of quite some fucking time. It was the house was lost and then retaken by Pavlov. They renamed it Pavlov's house after him. He was I don't even think he was a sergeant. He may have just been like a corporal. Anyway, yeah. So beautiful kit, really nice building. You can play some great scenarios around it. That project is a bit bigger, but then we'd have to fight we'd have to fight the machine, and we're not fighting the machine.
No, not
World
today.
at War Call of Duty, that's probably my favourite. Would never have been Sniper Elite. I've never played that demon. I've only ever played 2 first-person shooters, the original Call of Duty and the original Battlefield 1942. So
you never played Doom or Quake?
No, I have a friend who was high-ranked in Quake when he was at university. In fact, so much so that he wasn't at university. No, never really seen all the point. And Doom looked fun.
It
never played it.
Was a very interesting pastime experience while waiting for the next lecture to begin in school. That's the benefit if you're in the PC club and have access to the computers even during breaks.
We did as well, but unfortunately we didn't have access to things like Doom or Quake. We did, however, have PGA Tour Pro installed on all the machines. So you could just have a relaxing lunchtime playing golf.
If this isn't the most British thing, I don't know what is.
I don't know. It's an American game and I'm Irish, so
Yeah, but
maybe it's not
playing
much
golf
thing.
on your break.
Just saying, it was the only thing we had. Because we had I'm trying to think what they called them, like a lab tech who would set things up for the school and would just remove anything else that was put on any of the school's machines, with the exception of the PGA Tour, which he quite enjoyed. So it was the only thing that ever stayed there.
Yeah, that's one advantage if the students are much more into the tech than the teachers are. You can hide things.
Well, you could probably hide things from the teachers as well, but the lab tech was not a teacher.
Yeah, we didn't have a lab tech. We just had the teacher.
Wacky fun. That'll never catch on.
Yeah, it's a very comprehensive project, to
Yep.
say the least.
No, it's massive if you're interested in Stalingrad, or indeed bolt action to a certain extent. It's worth having a little poke over.
The topmost vice
Yes?
in this picture, is this an original Games Workshop as well?
No.
Because it looks an awful lot like mine.
Original Games Workshop one didn't have a nut at the end of it to allow you to turn it. It was double-sided,
Okay.
so there was a pin vise at both ends, which was a bit smaller. But then, yes, GW did sell those at one stage. Quite a lot of people sell them at one stage. So yes. Oh yes. And then there's the super duper, super expensive, now with added Bakelite versions as well. For extra money.
Bakelite. That's a word I only learned recently while watching
Nice.
some people on the internet doing restorations of old toys and stuff.
The first plastic, or rather the first commercial plastic.
A bit
Your
brittle.
Very, very brittle. You know, they were replacing things like shellac with it, which was incredibly fucking brittle as well.
And also didn't go well with water.
No, well, you know, few things do. Iron doesn't go well with water. Nobody complains about that.
Yeah, and if you drink too much water, you die.
Exactly. And fish pee in it. That's why I stay away from it.
Yeah.
Shall we move on?
We do Bot Wars,
I
painting
threw
challenge.
this one in for you because I assumed after being reminded about the tragedy that was
re-release.
the German attack of Stalingrad, you'd need cheering up with Bot Wars.
Yeah, and reminding me of the re-release of the new base set.
Yeah, Turbo Edition. Oh, you should see the stuff I got this week from him, because he was going, oh, you fancy playing some games on camera sometime? And I went, yeah, sure. What do you want? I went,
I'm guessing.
surprise me.
I'm
So he
guessing
sent
I
a
will
big
be
fucking
seeing
stack
it
of
at
stuff.
some point in the future, and I will be shouting off the top of my lungs at the screen, going "fuck you."
I haven't even opened all of it yet because I've had too much to do. I opened it and went, oh, it's like Valiants and Arcadians and Coils and Zimbabweans and also, yeah, who knows? So
It's-
many things I can't even keep track.
It's actually one of the things I'm highly tempted to put on my wish list that my wife asks
Sweden.
for every year.
You're not that far away from Sweden. Have a jaunt up to Tell her you're going to Stockholm for a holiday. Beautiful city, and then just nip down to the shop, pick yourself it up, and then afterwards you can do a tour of the museums. 74 I counted when I was last in Stockholm. So many. Most of them excellent, some of them shitty.
74 museums, that's more than a week's worth.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a ridiculous amount. Now, to be fair, there are things like the Museum of Ballet in there, which I never bothered my backside with. I did go to the Army Museum, and the one under the Riksdag is very good. The medieval city walls there and stuff. Yeah, definitely. Great, beautiful city. She'll love it. She'll be so over the moon.
Wait, why does he... Oh, I guess it's the project system again. 3 times day 4.
Hey, you know, it's making up for it. Don't worry about it. They'll catch up.
I'm still baffled that Hasbro hasn't caught on to this.
Well, they can catch on all they want. There's fuck all they can do.
Or they could
Has he-
try.
He is not somebody who went, oh, I'll make a Transformers game and I'll be fine.
No, he didn't.
Anthony's very clued in, and before he even launched this, he went through all of the thing and went, yep, this is all perfectly doable. And can't touch him. You
Can't
know?
touch this. Can't touch this.
So, in the grand words of me, fuck Hasbro. Fuck them with their stupid asses.
Yeah, they haven't been handling their IPs in a good way.
Ah, no, they're the Nintendos of toys, apparently.
Also, the Twitter account has been awkwardly silent again.
Has it?
Yes.
The one person who thought this was a good idea has been dragged kicking and screaming out of the building.
I imagine something along those lines, or the poor chap who had been put on duty to do it went up crying to his uppers and said, they don't like me, this isn't working.
Ah, well.
So Rumble, very well done, you solemn bastard.
I will be just stealing his paint schemes for all of these. Fucking wholesale when I come to paint up the multiple factions that we've been sent to play.
Maybe you should steal his miniatures instead and leave him the unpainted ones.
I don't know where he is in the world. I don't think I can easily reach him.
That's of course then a bit of a problem.
It's terribles. Super terribles. We can't have everything.
Next
Taken
then.
France fucking nearly 10 minutes to get a touch of the ball, by the way. Just saying.
Subdodger, weird, I'm not painting Infinity. He says that, but I'm guessing he's still painting Infinity.
If he is, he's hiding it.
Oh, lovely puppets.
Yes.
Scary puppets.
Might be scary puppets. Depends whether or not you find puppets scary or arousing.
Depends on the puppet.
Just saying. But once again, we find
Way too
Dodger,
much talent.
the Dodger of soap, throwing another one of those little vignettes, which he has a tendency to build these for specific games. Like, I need something to photograph all my Yu Ching Infinity in front of, or Pano, and they can't be the same piece of Infinity terrain. And likewise, here is a very specific piece of terrain to photograph his weird miniatures in front of. He is a fucking talented fuck.
He is
But we all
indeed.
have our crosses to bear, and he has to deal with the fact that the Scottish football team is borderline Irish in its quality at the moment. Not quite as bad as either of the Irish sides, but, you know, up there.
So what do you mean by borderline Irish?
Shite.
Oh, I was...
They managed to qualify. You know, neither of the Irish sides did, but fuck, there's not much in it.
And I thought you meant the team was comprised of mostly Irish players.
No. No, unfortunately not. Weirdly, there were 2 potential Irish players in the Denmark-Finland game the other night. Fucking Delaney plays for Denmark, and trying to remember the name of the Finnish player. But anyway, I digress.
Also, I think I will know when Germany scores a goal.
Do you?
Yeah,
Do
because
you imagine that everybody around you will scream?
at least 1 or 2 of my neighbors outside this window will probably go bonkers.
Oh, well, there you go.
Though it's not as bad as my last apartment 10 years ago, before we moved together, my wife and I. There were some, let's say it this way. If they could, they would have gone to bed with football.
Fair enough.
Long and hard. You always knew when there was a game on, because, yeah.
Can't say there's anything wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. I must say, I do like the odd-shaped windows. So it's very weird in both meanings of the word. Company and thing.
What I wanted to ask is the weird bird silhouette. Is that from the game, or is that something just free-handed on there?
No, I think it's from the game for that. I don't know what faction it is. I keep wanting to say Nevermore because of the Raven. Yeah, faction, but it's faction symbol. They've all got them. There's like I was going to say a faceless mask, but that makes no sense. There's like an opera mask for one of them,
Yeah.
and there's like a swirly thing for another. And but yeah, they all have their own little unique faction symbol. So I quite like the fact that it's stenciled on everything just to let people know who's in there. I mean, the fucking work on the skin tone there is absolutely stunning. Really nice.
Indeed. Next then, Captain Skyhawk, Mutant Rebel.
Yes.
I'm a rebel. Just you don't know it.
No,
So-
not Phantom of the Opera mask.
No, like
Trying to
the
think the theatre
Venice-
masks.
Venetian opera, the smiley one and the frowny one.
Yeah. Well, comes from Greece originally. It's comedy and tragedy.
Yeah, possibly. So
But yeah.
what is this?
So Captain Skyhawk has been making up some mutants from poxwalkers and gellerpox, doing a bit of conversions and kit bashing to make them not all look the same. And later on, you'll see when he gets all those conversions out of the way, the paint job being done on it, because he's done a painted example and then actually a full unit. So I believe these are the mutos are being used for something different. Mutant Rabble from Siege of Vrax. So there you go. So they're not being used as the Poxwalkers, but they'll still do the job. But there's some really nice conversions and bits and pieces in there using some sort of resin after bits and pieces. There's one guy with a massive tank on his back, pistol, and big fuck off gas masky.
I love the fact that he's using the
In fact, there he is, there,
pictures from the construction manual to show
So
how they
you can see
should
what
look.
they should look. Yeah, and I mean that one's a prime example. That Mr. Hook for Hand being replaced with tank on his back just looks utterly darling.
I love the helmet.
Yeah, it's a really nice set. Like I say, the actual painted versions as well look terrific when you see them all in their. I say all. I think he's got half of them done so far, but in their glory. No longer in resin, green stuff, and plastic, but painted up. They look superb. And that one with the tiny head and the massive body reminds me so much of the effect of Dr. Jekyll's potion from the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, the one where where the bad guy takes more than one potion. It just becomes a giant blob of muscle.
France have had 2 good chances there. But yeah, never have that much so quickly. You'll burn through it too fast. It's an exponential rate. Look how happy he is. Thinking,
very happy chappy.
technically my BMI's through the roof. Well, I'm cheerful.
A very pronounced nipples. I'm guessing these
He
pictures...
has, as we say in Northern Ireland, he's got nipples on him like a JCB starter button.
And he is the jolly fellow with the pistol and the tank.
Yeah. I imagine he's got to have maybe he's got gills and there's a constant sludge of dodgy water being heaved through there just to keep him going. Maybe he doesn't breathe there anymore. Who knows? But regardless, the rabble as a whole is just fucking great.
He's vaping on to the next level.
Oh, man. Terrible thing to say to anyone. But yeah, terrific set.
Yeah, really nice conversion work.
With nice minimalist basing.
I think this warband would also fit very well in any Wasteland game in the world of Judge Dredd.
Oh yeah, not just Dredd. I mean, there's loads of things you could throw it into. Go into Stargrave or go into Brutality or so much shit you could throw it into.
Saga.
Punk Apocalypse. Saga, for example.
Oh, by the way, I prepped a little surprise again for Friday for people having symptoms of withdrawal from the weekender.
That's terrible. There's an interview going out on Friday with me and Mark Latham, just talking about stuff. Not connected. It's just like, fuck it. I found a designer. Somebody give me an hour and I'll just talk at him.
Well, speaking of people who design things, dear Andy from Heresy makes really nice progress on his skeletons.
He does. I didn't show you the one I got.
Why did you get one? Again!
Is this a trick question?
No, it's a rhetorical question.
I got the Barbarian, the Conan one. It's fucking enormous.
Oh,
great.
So you didn't get it, you bought it.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Oh, I've absolutely no problem. I've been buying stuff off Andy since he started his company and will continue to do so. Getting Mr. Legs Akimbo onto a 75mm square base is going to be tricky because, I mean, he's great as some sort of giant, but by fuck, look at those legs. He is bestriding the world like a colossus. He is rocking the Blackadder actor's pose.
He didn't,
is the winter of our discontent.
He didn't skip leg day.
He didn't skip Legs Akimbo day. That's like an 85mm round, something fucking ridiculous. 80, well, let's say 82. Might be 85. I need to get him down to 75. Which, for those of you playing along at home, is doable. Yeah, doable if he's diagonal onto the base, but just doable, no fucking more. He did that, and then the guitar playing one, he threw it up. I'm going, oh, I really want the guitar playing one in giant size as well. But however, I'm also very keenly aware that I've bought quite a lot of stuff last month, and this month there's a few Kickstarters. One ended today, and
they're
another
all
one
going
ends
to
in a couple of days.
charge.
And, yeah, another one ends in like 4 days' time, and I can't afford it. It's fucking so annoying.
Pete is asking you to look at the score. I'm guessing he means the footy.
Football, that's because I was looking down at that Skelly Bob. Own goal from Hummels. Oh my god. Only brought back into the team.
Also, Doug the fuck, if I clickbaited you successfully Friday, that was purely intentional.
Sorry. I missed that as well. While I was looking away, a protester parachuted into the stadium but then clipped one of the fucking lines for the overhead camera before landing and being dragged away. What a dipshit.
Next
there you
up,
go.
then.
So France finally got 2 attacks and then managed to get a fucking own goal. Huh.
Paratroopers. Very slow leak of infamy.
Yeah, this one's just here to annoy me.
Orinoco.
Yep, the Orinoco flow.
So
Bit of Enya.
we had seen his diversion of mold lines.
Yes, we had. However, he's moved on since then.
Not by much, as by the looks of it.
Oh, you know, bet.
So he's giving us a list of these base sizes you should use for your miniatures if you plan to rebase them, basically.
Yes, why not?
Or is there
Go with that.
anything missing from my...
No, I have no idea. I don't pay attention here. Sorry.
Why not?
Watching the football. Yeah. So everything comes on 25mm square. However, if you are needing to rebase them, you can rebase them onto different sizes. I was amused because he decided to use Renedra 20mm to put his stuff on. And I also use Renedra 20mm to put them on. However, Renedra do, as we noticed earlier, round bases and square bases with flagstone patterns on them. So he's cut down the 25mm bases to put them onto something smaller. Whereas he could have just popped that base off and stuck them straight onto a flagstone one without any of the cutting and pissing around. Well, you know, that's good. I like it.
You can't have everything.
You can't have everything. You are correct. Correct, Mundo.
Next project then.
Are you not going to go down and look at his painted dragons at the bottom? Or have you looked at his painted dragons at the bottom?
We have been here.
Right. 3 days ago.
Yes.
Are you sure? Because 3 days ago we weren't doing this.
There were a lot of button pressing here on May the 8th.
Yeah, but what about 12th of June?
Wait, did you reverse the search order again? Yes, of course you did.
Yes.
Okay. This starts making sense then.
It's like he doesn't even pay attention to me.
What?
What?
I'm hearing voices. Oh look, it's Groot.
Might be, could be. Forest Shamblers for the win.
Oh, cootie dragons. Here be dragons. So many colors used on this little miniature.
Tiny dracons. Tiny baby dracons.
Oh, look at this.
I quite like how he's decided that some of them are green, but also some of them should be red. So you can tell the difference in game terms. And just not have to paint everything the same colour. I quite like the little red ones. Green ones are the standard box arty styly. The little red ones are sweet.
They look a bit like fiery, more fiery. There's one. I like.
I do. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes next, because he hasn't said what order he's doing the shit in. The clever thing would be to do them in the order of... oh, that's funny. That he uses the same combo of surface primer and ink that I use for my Zeniths. The clever thing would be to do it in scenario order. So you go through and go, what do I need for scenario 1? But you can often summon shit as the keeper, depending on how badly your opponent is fucking up. So it's not always as clear cut, knowing what you can throw in against them. So it might be better just to go ahead and paint the lot.
Yeah, that's probably the wise approach. But since when did I approach anything in a wise and meaningful way?
Oh.
Neither do I.
Tuesday?
Nah.
Okay, just checking.
Also, 87 Collins, welcome. And why does Gary scare you?
Maybe it's you. Huh? You're about the same size, aren't you?
Nah, only 183 centimeters.
Really?
Yes.
You look bigger on TV.
It's because of the webcam. Also, I'm sitting very high.
Small and far away. Huh?
Far away.
But anywho,
Next up then, this is Denzian now. So, I'm guessing this is one we have been seeing before.
yes, we have.
So where did we leave him
Oh,
last
I
time?
mean, it's been like a couple of weeks, so
June 6th.
million miles away.
And since then he's painting red uniforms.
He's not just painted red uniforms, he's painted pretty much all the fucking Sudanese scarlet coat wearing bastards. Look at them, fucking dozens of them.
One
Coming
day
at you
painting
like
marathon.
Cleopatra. However, that's not why we're here. We're here for Old Rosie, named after his favourite cider, or possibly just a jug of cider that he'd seen lying around. Nobody knows for certain. We've no way to find out. We can't ask him.
But why is it blue?
Because if you look at the jug of cider, Old Rosie's traction engine, steam engine, that is blue. So it's not just the name, it's the label. See what he's done there?
So he's going inspirational on us.
I even like the fact he's attempted to copy the red and yellow font for Old Rosie's name from the cider bottle. I mean, it's the way to do it. Go all in on that. So I quite like the tripod. He also has a question. I've already told him my suggestion is just go ahead and use brush bristles. Fuck, I hate those words. But he was asking if anybody has an idea for 18mm lancers. What could he use? I don't think he's going to find anything better than 18mm or than brush bristle lances for 18s.
Probably not.
Although Oasis wire for flower displays is very thin as well. Would possibly do the job, but very
bendy.
It's incredibly ductile. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The brushes are better. Anyway, he has asked for suggestions. I've given him an answer. Other people may do that as well.
I'm guessing the question is in the topical question.
Well, it's there. It just says, my cavalry didn't come with lancers. Anyone know what I could use for lancers in 18mm?
Check out the jerry can on brush bristles.
Yep. There you go. Booyakasha, mother funsters. I would have put the link in, but melt alt tabbing and opening another window, and who's got time for that? I certainly don't. Well, I did on this occasion, but I chose not to. I'm very lazy. Very lazy.
Also, where's the fun in giving people direct links?
There is no fun, clearly.
See? That's what my point. Next
Great
then,
place to play in Dublin.
another spring clean challenger arrives.
Well, in this case, it's the same one that we've just seen, but different. Because he did a battle report.
So, let me get this straight. He does a painting marathon and a battle report.
Not on the same day, to be fair. You know.
Still very suspicious. Highly suspicious.
The painting marathon was on the 8th, and then the battle report was on the 9th. So, you know, I assume after the painting marathon he wanted to do anything except look at red-coated Brits and Martians. He's just going, I'm not doing fucking any of those. Somebody set up the Old West, I'm going to kill someone. So there we have the high noon scenario from Legends of the Old West, written by Mark Latham. He's going to be sitting down with me on Friday.
And he's using Star Wars Legion wound markers.
Yeah, well, you know, got them handy, why not?
And you've got a lot of them if you want started the game once.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a really nice little photo bat rep, which is cute. He's even used some Rorke's Drift barricades there, but there was no stripes on the melee bags. That's how he differentiates them from his Rorke's Drift ones.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Because I'm fairly certain he did it after I bitched at him for a while.
Yes, I do remember that we mentioned it on occasion to
you
him.
know, I think if we did, we were probably very, you know, circumspect and not at all pushy about it. We were probably, you know, if you want to do this, you can. Denzi, and you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it too much.
But
It's just really nice seeing a little battle report playing out. Really nice board and really nice terrain, which is something I've come to expect because, let's face it, every time he's doing a painting project, there's a substantial amount of terrain and scenery to go with it. Games do not exist in a vacuum. Armies do not play out on empty tabletops with fruit bowls and books.
most time they don't.
Fiber optic cable for lances. That's interesting. Is it cheap?
Not really.
No. Oh well, then. Shame.
I got fiber optics cable for my micro Death Star, and it was a meter for
Yes.
€5 or something.
Oh no.
So it's
it's substantially cheaper just to buy a brush. Just saying. I've got this little dusty pan brush for my small 18mm stuff and aerials, and then the big yard brush for everything else.
crazy. You are tempting me
It's
to
got hair in
hit
it.
you on the
Fucking my
head.
hair everywhere.
Should I ever meet you? I don't know how Epic Legion is coming along right now, but I'm still on it. I'm still annoying AMG every time I get the chance to.
Good man.
And at some point in the near future, I need.
I imagine they'll crack. I imagine
Yeah.
they'll crack and just do it just to shut you up.
I will make a large open letter to them and then put that up.
Post them a shit in the box.
So here's a project by Holly. Did I get that
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
Because she
Because
wanted
Helly is from the alternate universe.
she wanted to change username and
I don't know if she wants to change it to Holly, but Holly's what she uses on the Discord.
yeah,
So-
that's one my taking. And since I don't know what she wants to be called on the
Well, you just go
on the
with
stream,
Carlos.
I'm pretty sure she doesn't want to be called that name again.
Who knows? Who knows?
Too much to clean. Spring cleaning challenge
Yeah.
again.
Now we looked at this in the past, but she stuck in and updated fucking loads of stuff, including that tree with those troll parts, making some sort of weird troll vagina tree, which is amazing.
These
Not
pictures
sentence
make
I ever
me
thought I was gonna say.
uncomfortable.
Right? You get a bit of wood down there. Little
No,
mahogany.
the other uncomfortable, not
Oh,
the
just
one you're
checking.
thinking of.
Yeah. No kink shaming.
So I think this is where we left off. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, where one of the kids had spotted an Astrian warpath army. And I'm looking at that going, I don't own Astrians, but I do like the look of Astrians. Maybe I could do a little Astrian force for like Firefight or Dead Zone or something. Dead Zone would be the sensible one because it's very low figure count. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, so first we have the completion of this weird fighter engine, whatever it is.
It's think of it as a drone ship. Think of it, it's about the size of a grav tank for 40k. It's it's a chunky piece of kit, but their space elves aren't stupid like GW space elves who go, we are a dying race, let's go and fight these wars, even though we're technologically advanced. Whereas the Mantic space elves go, let's go and fight these wars. You go with this drone controller and 500 robots and fight that war. Stay at the back, let the robots do the dying. Seems like a much more sensible way to do things when you're technologically advanced on a dying race. I'm just saying, just throwing that one out there. Anyway, I like that because normally they're very super shiny, but there it's almost Star Wars-esque. It's a rust bucket. It's seen some action. It's been through the wars.
This weird skull flying thing, is that a spell
purple,
from
Purple Sun, which used to be one of the most devastating things in Warhammer Fantasy. I don't know what's like in Age of Sigmar because Age of Sigmar, everything seems devastating in Age of Sigmar. Fucking a single Skaven slave is devastating in Age of Sigmar. So Purple Sun may or may not be there, but it's a wacky looking thing. It's like the coronavirus come to visit. I like the basing as well. The happy-go-lucky poppy basing is great. I don't know. Did you look at the? Can you go back to the Purple Sun and look at the bottom? Nope. Back, middle bottom, where it's reversed. The whole point of the purple sun is as it travels.
Yeah, he's ruining the ground.
Yeah, so you've got that nice, beautiful at the front, and then just desolate purple wasteland from behind as it just ruffle stomps its way forward, which is fucking lovely. Really like that. This whole project's a bit
Reminds me a bit
annoying.
of StarCraft when the Zerg spread
Did we
their
not put the
love.
link in? Oh well, that's probably because I cut and pasted it and then got distracted by the football. Should have been 1-1 there. Just saying.
Hassle-free little kids.
Hmm.
And everybody who has kids knows little kids in itself can be frightening as fuck.
Well, yeah. That's why Lena goes out in the street and kicks them.
Very much possible. And now
So-
we're back to the very disturbing images of colorful people with intestines on the outside.
Yeah, you know, it's a look. One of my favourite parts of this is actually the eyeballs on the belly of the big piece,
Yeah,
the Glotkin that's on, because they're
I've got my
particularly
eyes
well
on you.
done. I mean, they are really. You've got iris pupil. You've even got the glisten. Though I don't know how. I imagine it'd be very dry, not having any eyelids to blink. Maybe he just gets a nurgling to lick them every so often.
Or he uses one of his tentacles.
One of his testicles. What?
Tentacles!
All right. Okay.
Man! Get your thoughts from the gutter.
Sorry.
Uh,
Hernandez just got kicked in the head. Couldn't happen to a nicer person.
Hernandez.
Anyway. Yeah. I mean, isn't it?
Glotkin, that's a name. Fitting. What are these supposed to be? They look a bit like...
They are Dark Eldar Talos's pain engines. However, only one of them is a Dark Eldar Talos. The other one is the spare parts from a Dark Eldar Talos stuck together to make a second Dark Eldar Talos.
They
Which is why one of them
me-
is bulkier.
They remind me a bit of the Dwemer from Elder Scrolls. A bit. But mainly because of the color scheme.
I don't know what that is.
It's a video game.
Oh, right. One of your video games.
You have heard of Morrowind or Skyrim.
I've played Morrowind. Great
Morrowind,
game.
Morrowind
Fantastic.
is a game
Amazing.
of the Elder Scrolls series.
Nah, I don't believe you.
So that's why.
No. Nah. Doesn't make sense. Don't make any sense anymore. Not making any sense.
I like,
But
I like the tree.
Yeah, I like the tree as well, because the tree is the weird vagina tree with other tree parts and troll parts stuck to it.
Isn't that
making...
the tree Warren once showed off on
Yeah,
show?
yeah.
Being very fond of it.
Oh, yeah. But it's fucking madness.
I think
And
that's
I
the
love
point
it.
of this project.
Why would you not? It's just a whole new level of insanity. It's stuffed to the brim with hatfuls of Guatemalan insanity peppers.
The creativity level on this is enormous.
Yes, Dutch. If you were paying attention whenever I said it's got the head from the troll, that was your hint.
Hello,
It's also got one of his
Tuffy.
arms. So you take the spooky forest, you take the vagina tree, and you take the whatever the fuck they call that troll, because it's not a troll anymore, is it? Because you can't copyright troll.
She basically did what we always suggested when Rob did his chaos.
Trogoloth.
Use some bits, roll them in glue, and then just
Yep.
shove it in your bits
yeah.
box.
I'm pretty
Only
certain
this
that
is more or less made intentional.
I don't know where the shrooms have come from. I think some of those may be handmade and some might be off kits. The stuff on the base, I think it's from one of GW's terrain kits, but again, the leafy scorpion looking stingy nettly plant things going on there. I mean, it's just eclectic is the word I'm looking for. It's a whole host of desperate pieces that have been converted very, very nicely. I mean, you have to play a game, spot the seam, and if you spot one, you win. Because, yeah, trying to see where shit replaces other parts is very tricky.
The only thing that would make this project even better would be if there were some work in progress pictures before the final painted one, just to make out where she put new pieces.
Well, we can but dream.
Yes.
Send her all the kits, maybe she'll do it again. I say that, I don't think you can get the vagina tray anymore.
As is tradition with most Games Workshop products these days, for some weird reason.
Let's go all the way back, all the way back. Do we have it in so much stuff? Wood. I'm just skipping back. You can tear on ahead.
Next then is 172 Macedonian and Carthaginian armies.
Yes. Well done, you.
At some point, I will break my tongue on this show.
Go team. As they say in France, go team. This I like because this takes me back to
the olden days.
Most people's entrance to wargaming. 1/72 soft plastic figures. It's a great way of doing it. It's cheap as chips. There is such a fucking monumentally expansive range for everything. You want to do any historical time period, you will find it from some company for peanuts in 1/72, and then you've got the proper miniature companies, who do 1/72/20mm stuff in metal and resin. So you know you can do your World War II, you can do ancients, you can do Napoleonics, whatever you want. So it's just really nice seeing
I think
beginning of this.
This is the second project from this user, or a different, because I remember him making the terrain pieces.
The hills, yep. I think he did something where it was the Balin's tomb, I want to say. GW did a resin Balin's tomb insert thing for the Fellowship that cost a fortune.
I'm guessing the biggest problem with
Did you just call me a feculent gnarlmar?
Huh?
Taffy. That's how I choose to read that. It's the feculent gnarlmar gherkin. How very dare you. Very dare you. But yeah, all come together.
Demons up, thanks for being here.
Tatty bye. I'm not sure what game will be played with him in the end, but he's just putting together 2 armies at the moment. So get that, and you get the sheer grand look of it all.
I'm guessing the biggest challenge with these miniatures is actually finding a bag of them where most parts aren't bent.
It depends. They come on sprues. So Artillery Hat have moved to a harder version. Airfix is still super soft. Zvezda actually have gone from super duper soft to harder as well. So the plastic bending is less of an issue these days. But to be brutally honest, it can be as bent as it wants for the price.
Yeah. Because
by fuck can you build an army on a budget in 20mm using them? I've got 6 72nd historic armies up in the roof loft, and I've got a British Napoleonic force, now I think about it, up there as well, which I will never fucking get to. So,
you may want to win the lottery so you can quit your day job and just be painting.
Yeah, but so much drinking to do if I win the lottery. A lot of drinking to do.
That's the danger in there, of course.
Well, you know. Starting with the Ardbeg Gamekeeper's Reserve, £10,000 for the bottle.
Next.
Although that is offset by the case it comes in.
It's pure gold?
It's leather case with 6 little silver shot glasses.
So almost like the Louis Vuitton dice bag.
Like that, yeah. Yeah. But you can keep your guns in this as well for when you're hunting and drinking. Hence Gamekeeper's Reserve.
While chat is talking about weird British television shows, I found relaxation in what was the show called again? Mrs. Brown's Boys?
Right.
For some weird reason, YouTube decided to put some snippets of
Suggest
that
it to you.
into my feed, and
I'm impressed if you can understand what Brendan's saying.
I'm loving my ass off.
It's good. I remember whenever I was a kid, he used to do stand-up, and he was what they would call a blue comedian in the South, where he was a bit sweary, would talk about sex, would even criticise the Catholic Church.
Oh,
A lot of too hot for TV videos and stuff. Watch them all the time. And then he vanished for what appears to be 20 odd years, and then reappeared in Mrs. Brown's Boys, and suddenly became famous. It's like, wow.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite bits they showed was when she talked about how she gave birth, and and then he took me and he shook me, and I grabbed him and shouted at him, and that was only the conception. Oh, some weird. I think I need to hunt down any videos that can be watched without the BBC player. So,
It's a way to do it. It is a way to do it.
Bear, however you're pronounced, I love your reverse inflates.
I would say spee.
Spee.
Like the graph. Graph spee.
Well, that would be
Anyway.
written wrongly, but nonetheless.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't stop me doing it.
I really love the color scheme.
Hmm.
Reminds me an awful lot of
Ding.
my glitter marines.
It's a good look. It is a good look.
It's
We'll see them
eye-catching.
coming. It's eye damaging. Never mind eye catching.
Oh, this is ancient, isn't it?
That. It's good old. I want to keep saying Nova Marines, and I know it's not that, but yeah, that picture from that White Dwarf is from way back in the mist of time.
And that's the epic 40k I always wanted to play.
Hmm.
But it went and never reappeared.
Well, you can just rest assured that Epic Legion will be coming to, bring you solace.
You know, if AMG, for what weird twist of fate, actually would decide to do such a game,
They won't. They won't.
I
mean, they can sell the Star Wars stuff to non-gaming monkeys, but if they imagine trying to sell a 6mm small mass battle game like that,
I think you underestimate the pulling
really don't.
pulling force of anything Star Wars fans can cram up in their space. It's more Star Wars on a smaller space, even more collectible. You can make dioramas.
yeah, nah, none of that's going to happen.
But what I
think
wanted to say,
I think you misunderstand mass marketing.
if they were actually to make something like that, I wouldn't be able to play it because I would have a heart attack that instant.
Oh yeah, that is the risk you take when you dice along the 6mm route.
So
Too much epic, too awesome.
I need to stay away from the internet next year when April Fool's Day come around, because I'm guessing they could take revenge on me on that.
Oh yeah,
day.
it'd be all over you. I mean, it'd be a terrible thing if somebody who was a partner in the media sense contacted them and told them to do that. But thankfully, we don't know anybody like that.
No, and we for certain have never done anything like a whole project on backsides of miniatures.
No. Still really annoyed Lloyd took time off then.
Well,
Bastard.
the projects are
Bastard.
still there, so I'm guessing
Bastard.
we can fill that up again, and next year try again.
Well, could do that, or just wait the next time Ben's off and nobody stops me. Mwah.
So you're saying Ben is the one keeping you all in line, in check?
Yeah, to a certain extent. Ben looks at things like that and goes, no. Just no.
He doesn't strike me like somebody to be able to say no.
Oh, he can. Can do. When the mood takes him, when he needs to.
when he wants some time off and get on with it.
If it's any help, though, you can't criticise him that his flames are back to front on the armour.
Yeah.
So, feel free. I imagine the transition from yellow to orange into that pink would be too close. Probably
Possibly.
one for black lining. Paint the flames in black first. Then paint them the correct way round, leaving the black outline to make it stand out more.
Or maybe he just had it wrong in his head, is now watching the video at some point in the future and is biting himself in his eyes.
Straight in the debt hole. All the hard work gone. Oh no.
Next up then, please. Collins
I know him.
does weird scaling things.
Could
Repainting
be that.
miniatures made by Fantasy Flight Games.
Attack wings, form up.
So tiny! So this is the recurring project on A Billion Suns.
$1 billion.
And instead of repainting or painting 3D printed models, he goes directly to the source and grabs himself some Armada stuff.
Nobody's got time for that. Who could be arsed? I couldn't. Even if I knew how to do it.
You need more Justins to print all the things.
Even then. But relatively short update because we had seen
Yeah. The colourful corvettes.
the capitals and frigates and the like. So this is just various wings, which is really nice because you've got your A wings, which you can use for fighter or recon, I suppose. You've got your X wings, again fighter, and then the delightful Ys
And Y and B wings.
and B as well, yeah.
So
For
all your
bombing
classics.
goodness. Well,
I love the fact that Fantasy Flight used the B wings on this weird angle and not just straight up.
why not just flat?
Yeah.
Makes slightly more sense as well when you think about actually putting them on somewhere, because you either lose a wing if you have it on the cardinal points or it's attached by a very small point.
Yeah, I think they had trouble with the X-wing miniature because of that at some point. So then, before your webcam loses focus completely,
No, it's fine. It knows where I am.
last project of the evening. Also, again, a reoccurring guest.
Henri, Henri. He has completed his project.
Yeah, just take a second, everybody, and marvel at that piece.
Dee 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 dee.
I-
Dee 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 dee.
I'm impressed.
Do 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 do. Why would you not be? Huh?
I
Look
could
what
be
he's
a
done
I could
to
be a
his
terrible
boss.
asshole.
Well, you are a terrible asshole, but
Yeah, but
in
I
what
can
respect would you be?
appreciate.
We all know that. If we're very lucky, maybe we'll get some awesome pictures of the boat. There we go. There's what we wanted. That's what we came here to see. The boat being unloaded from the dock. A whole 4x4 of gaming goodness.
3x3.
Close enough.
Now we want a battle report.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Look, a submarine. Somebody called Tintin. Tintin, you little fuck. There's a submarine. It's full of Nazis. Get in there, boy.
For some odd reason, the translating team decided to call Tintin not Tintin in Germany.
Right?
He's called Tim.
It's called Tim.
Yes.
Wow.
And the dog is
So-
called Struppi.
not snowy.
Nope. Weird translation issues
Stroppy.
at points. Which refers to having weird hair. But Captain Haddock is Captain Haddock.
It's Captain Haddock still. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Off at the docks looking for an old shag.
No, Dina, it's just Tim. Tim und Struppi is what it's called in Germany. And then there are the twins, Schulz and Schulz.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Yeah, why not?
And Dr. Beeline.
It's not getting any better.
That's
I
the
would like to
weird
say-
professor.
Yeah, oh, I guess that. Who said the Germans don't have a sense of humour?
I sure
looked at all
didn't.
that and just went, fuck it, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Let's do
some
that then.
translations... I can't even tell because I can't speak or read any French, so I don't know if it's... There's some reasoning behind it, why it went that way, but there's
Oh, I
some
can't imagine there is.
Belgian, French comics that have very weird translations, and other have none.
People playing along at home, if you're looking, there are things in the windows. There we go. So you've got like shop fronts with advertisements, posters in the window, even writing. Although I can't read the writing because it's all just streaks. But it looks like somebody has written on the inside of the window. Look at the barber shop. I mean, look at that. You too can visit what looks like the convention hall to see Clay versus Warner
Yeah.
this weekend. Also Homer against Smith, as they're calling it, Battle Creek, Wednesday, June 15th. Joe Burke versus Homer Smith. Terrific. Superb. It's what I came here for.
Terrible, terrible, talented bastard.
Can't trust him.
Nope.
Can't trust him. But in other news, I still don't think the train called Alice is finished yet. So, in that respect, win with one hand,
You
lose
know,
with the other.
we would be really annoyed if you now made a battle report on that map using the finished train.
Oh, using the train. Play a sea line game. I know. Oh, yeah, that's fine. All for that.
I'm not sure what annoys me more, that people actually manage to pull these things off, or that they have the space to let these things sit indoors and be not ruined by anybody.
Who knows? Who knows? It could go either way.
I really, really love this terrain set. I wouldn't know what game to play on it, because there isn't one in my portfolio that would fit.
Right. Oh, you should probably pick up some more games.
Let me check my balance. Nope.
What about Star Wars? There's bound to be a planet somewhere in the Star Wars universe that is more or less looks like,
Pre-industrial.
1940s Europe. Yeah. By the way,
Oh.
if there are planets with Ewoks and shit on it, primitives,
Yeah,
barely
that's-
developed, nothing,
that's
then there must be the whole range out there. So somewhere there's Belgium world.
Also, I could just potentially put a bag of sand over it and call it the wasteland.
Yeah, that too. Seems a bit harsh.
Well, it's not my terrain, is it?
Just saying. Bit harsh.
But that's the way. Very British Civil War. I don't think so, my dear friends.
Oh, that shame. Shame.
And with that, our tightly scripted show is
Tightly
nearly over.
scripted, half hour, done and dusted. Mother fudsters.
Who said what? Crazy. Nobody said anything. Oh God! I'm not getting younger now, am I?
Only Cliff Richard is getting younger.
And what's his face? The guitarist from Rolling Stones. No, he's not getting younger. He's just
He's
getting
refusing to
more
die.
more time to live every time you take a thingamajig. What is it? A cigarette.
Yeah. Every time you have a cigarette, it steals 5 minutes of your life and gives it to Keith Richards.
Yes, exactly. Drink feck aus nuns. Panzer, you
Oh,
are
you don't want to say
talking.
nuns. He hates nuns.
Who hates nuns?
Father Jack.
Does he?
Oh, yeah. Oh, he gets really annoyed by nuns.
Is he racist now?
Probably. Don't have much time to be racist. Not with, the sheep. The farm takes up a lot of my time.
I haven't seen much of Father Ted. Again, it's not available here, but the few
that's
spots
terrible.
I've seen, I've quite liked.
They're very, very funny. Some of them are a bit UK centric. There's an episode that revolves around I can't remember the actor's name. Who played Victor Meldrew? Children. While they're typing that in, there was a TV show called One Foot in the Grave, which was about a bitter old man who just spent his time getting really angry at everything and ranting. And his catchphrase was, "I don't believe it." Now, if you don't know that show, then you don't know that that was a thing. And the episode where Victor Meldrew actor turns up and they keep talking about him, going, "It's the I don't believe it man." I bet I should go up and say, "I don't believe it" to him. "Oh yeah, Ted, you should." I bet nobody does that to him. And throughout the entire episode, it's just them constantly saying it and him getting really fucked off. But they're not intentionally. After the first time, they don't intentionally do it any longer. They would like accidentally get lost in the party and go, "I don't believe it, we're lost," and then they turn around and he'd be behind them.
So
yeah.
the writers of the episode had a field day with the phrase.
Oh yeah, really did. It's still very funny, but obviously, if you don't know, well, I suppose you don't really need to know One Foot in the Grave, because they do explain it's the I don't believe it man, and that's his catchphrase. So I suppose you could get away with that. But yeah, Richard Wilson, cheers, Pete. But yeah, the I don't believe it man is good.
Well, we should have a viewing session of British comedy at some point. Even though
That'd be
that
good.
would potentially mean the end of this channel.
It's only a matter of time. Let's face it. You're
Yeah,
playing with fire.
At some point, Twitch will come and say you can't say feck, cunt.
Yeah, I can't say any of that. You could whap your Norks out for all to see, or get them to pay for the privilege. That's fine, apparently.
Yes. German voiceovers over British comedy. Very funny.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah. With that said, I will leave you to your football now, Jerry. Enjoy the last 30 minutes or so.
Oh no, the second half's just kicked off. There's about 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah, see, so there's going to be fun ahead at that point. I thank everybody for being in chat. I thank you two guys on YouTube who watched this, and we will see each other.
Someday we'll find out who they are.
Oh, they wish they won't. Until next time, bye.